The angel at the gate just stared in disbelief. You actually got your hands on it? I get it now. Let me lead the way. Jun Su grinned. Now we're talking. Glad he did his homework and came fully prepared. A bit earlier in a Swedish plaza, Jun Su was prowling the streets with a mission. Before facing Thor, he had to get some prep work done first. There is a quest where the prize is Mistletoe's regret. I have to knock that out first. Jun Su tried to remember. He needed to track down some specific people in this market. While he is lost in his own head, someone sneaks up and throws a heavy arm around his shoulder. It is Sitman, grinning wide. Long time no see, kid. Can't believe I ran into you here. Jun Su smiles. It has been a minute. What are the odds? Sitman laughs. It is all thanks to the newest member of the family. We have a baby now, so we brought him here to get blessed. Seeing them so hyped, Jun Su couldn't help but crack a smile too. Thinking about it, this place was a holy site for the Norse. Wait a second, isn't the god who blesses babies in their mythology that one person? Jun Su blurted out. Hold on, are you two here for Free's blessing? I thought she was dead. Sitman gives a slow nod and says, that is true, but there is this prophecy. The prophecy says, in the castle floating in the sky in the deepest abyss, find the jewel that holds the sunset. Bring that jewel to the empty field, jump on the flying ship, and fix the world. Only then will the gods smile. Kim Junu frowned at the thought. According to the riddle, that floating sky castle has to be the giant palace, and the lowest part is right here. While he is thinking, Shiun speaks up. We found the jewel. You want to see it? He handed the object to Kim Jun Su. Jun Su took it, whispering in shock. So, this is the legendary jewel. Does this jewel mean something else, like some forbidden knowledge? Kim Junu definitely saw something super familiar in that image. Seeing his reaction, Shiun was totally confused. Yo, what is it? Is something wrong? This is the birth of the purest god, Miss Ten. The special people Kim Junu needed to find were Shiun and his wife. He had to help them get Freak's blessing to finish the mission. Kim Jun Su's whole vibe changed instantly. He piped up with total energy. Hey man, let me roll with you on this journey. So the trio headed to the prophetic field, only to find it crawling with nasty monsters down below. Shichmun, behind the wheel, pointed into the distance. Look, that is the airship from the prophecy. It is the legendary vessel built by the Dwarf King. Kim Junu looked and saw two massive airships hovering in the clouds. Kim Junu was hyped. He knew this thing, a mobile fortress that could fold up and fit right in a pocket. It was a literal flying fortress, Shichun added, seeing him silent. Pretty wild to see in person, right? Actually, Kim Jun Su was just plotting how to steal it. That was a move he could never pull in the game. Shmoon and his wife sat inside the vehicle. They kept scanning the area. The prophecy said to bring the jewel to the field, board the ship, and fix the world for the gods. They had to take the Skidladir and crush the Titans. Shichun just let out a heavy, resigned sigh. Tons of people died trying to hijack that ship. It is not going to be easy. Hearing that, Kim Jun Su clenched his fists tight. Not easy? Please. For him, this was a total piece of cake. Suddenly, massive cannons locked onto Kim Jun Su's ride. In a heartbeat, a wave of magic cannon fire blasted straight toward them. The car's system screamed a warning. Projectiles detected ahead. Perfect. My time to shine. Kim Junu swapped his trait to Pro Driver. He slammed the gas and the car took off, absolutely shredding through the wind. Magic blasts chased them, blowing up everywhere, but Kim Jun Su's car just charged ahead like a total beast. The cannons kept spamming shots, forcing the car's system to spit out non-stop warnings. Kim Junu ignored the alerts and kept the pedal down, driving straight into the smoke and fire. Shichun and his wife were losing it. Inside that wall of smoke and flames, something was glowing like crazy. It was Kim Jun Su's car. He sent the thing flying straight into the sky. Total cinematic move by Kim Jun Su. He even unlocked the integrated trait called One with the Steed. Next thing you know, he's aiming for the airship. The car slammed onto the deck, sending the guards into a total panic. Before they could process the chaos, an explosion ripped through, tossing them like rag dolls. The general stepped out and froze. All his soldiers were already out for the count. He spotted the culprit and barked, "Why would a holy knight of Thor pull a stunt like this?" Kim Junu just smirked. "What are you yapping about? I don't believe in any of those gods." He gripped his hammer tight, ignoring the general's screams. Without a shred of doubt, he lunged forward with pure aggression. Boom! Another blast rocked the ship. Just like that, Kim Junu wiped the deck and took over the whole vessel. After climbing aboard, J-Man yelled, "That was one hell of a fight, kid. Now we just gotta fly this thing." Kim Junu gave a slight nod. But how do you even steer this hunk of junk? As he wondered, the car's system spoke up. Kim Junu grabbed the cable from his ride and plugged it into the ship. The system started hacking the controls instantly. Xiun stared at the map, muttering. To get Freck's blessing, we have to track down Fenria. Kim Jun Su didn't blink. I'll help you find it. He let the system pilot the airship away. Before leaving, he rained cannon fire on the field, watching the Titans die like flies down below. Kim Junu grinned with satisfaction. Now we can wrap up the rest of this prophecy, right? Shikmun nodded. Thanks, kid. I won't forget this favor. Now listen. After saying that, he pulled out the jewel. Instantly, a beam of light shot out, and the goddess Frick appeared. She stayed silent, slowly raising her hand to touch Yordis's stomach. Then, the goddess vanished into thin air. Shimun spoke up with real heart. I accept the blessing you left with total gratitude. Kim Junu was stoked. Mission accomplished. He just scored a rare item with a 1% drop rate in the game. Miss Ten's mistake was his win. Kim Jun Su gripped that flower branch, grinning like a psycho inside. Time to face the big guys. Back in the now, Kim Jun Su stepped into the massive palace. The second he got inside, some invisible wall popped up, totally blocking his way. Junu bit his lip hard, trying to tear through that barrier. Just getting close made his lungs feel like they were collapsing, but he had a secret weapon. Even being under-leveled, he could tank the divine pressure because of a single-use cheat item he brought along. After all that sweating, Junu finally came face-to-face with the god of thunder himself, Thor. He was chilling on a huge throne, smirking at him. Nice to meet you, outsider. Junu just stood there, totally floored. This guy knows me? He hesitated, then asked, How the hell do you know I'm from another world? Thor just laughed. How do I know, kid? These eyes see everything. You're just a tiny little human to me. Hearing that, Kim Jun Su realized it. Even the gods couldn't ignore a guy like him. Then Thor spoke up again. Why have you come to see me? Junu kept his cool and answered, I just have a few questions. Any idea who dragged me into this world? If it was some crazy power, a god like Thor would definitely know. But Thor just shook his head. No clue, he said. Junu went stone cold. Then Thor gave him the death stare. Say that again. I said I don't know. How should I? Junu frowned and started whispering to himself. Did the All-Father summon me then? Thor's face scrunched up. He sat there thinking for a long time before finally saying, Impossible. If a god used that kind of juice, there's no way I'd miss it. Now Junu was the one thinking hard. So, it wasn't a god. He flashed back to that talk he had with the Saintess a while ago. Her words definitely had some hidden meaning behind them. Junu got serious and asked, Then why did she call me a vessel? Thor thought it over for a long while. It's probably because of your soul. Your soul rank is actually insanely high. Junu was still lost. Is it because I can combine traits? Thor just nodded like it was no big deal. Exactly. Learning and mashing up different powers is something only a transcendent being can actually do. The East calls it the peerless myriad stars thing, whatever that means. Junu remembered the Tower Master saying that. I've heard that before, he said. Have you ever met anyone else like me? Thor drummed his fingers on the throne, waiting a long time before speaking. There was one guy, the Heavenly Demon. That clicked. Junu remembered Chen Wei saying he reminded him of that same Heavenly Demon. Everything finally made sense. While Junu was processing, Thor had an idea. How about this? Dump the All-Father in that disgusting order, and I will make you my personal angel. Junu was shocked and immediately turned him down. I'm not ready to die yet, thanks. Thor looked annoyed and gave a cold snort. After you die, well, it wouldn't matter if that old geezer came back to life anyway. Junu pouted and snapped back. You for real? Thor sighed, totally done. I don't want to rot in this palace drinking forever. Look, Thor isn't just the god of thunder. He's the god of war. Remember the myths? During the big war, when the father died, all the losers were executed and the winners were all sealed away. No wonder Thor was so pissed about being locked up like this. Suddenly, he spoke up again. In the end, that whole war only really benefited you humans, didn't it? Well, I guess I'll root for you then. His words left Junu totally confused. Thor didn't explain. He just reached out and asked, You want the power to escape the father, don't you? Kim Jun Su didn't say a word. He just gave a nod. A satisfied smirk spread across Thor's face. I'm more than happy to grant you that power. Right as he finished, a massive bolt of lightning slammed down from the sky. Junu's body was instantly swallowed by that blinding, brilliant light. Veins popped out all over him from the agony. Finally, Unable to take it, he threw his head back and screamed. Thor just sat there on his throne, cold as ice. Use it well, he said. After enduring that insane pain, Junu finally received Thor's secret cultivation arts and his lightning. Then, Thor slowly spoke up. All done, little human. After getting fried by that lightning, the hammer in Junu's hand could now finally generate its own electricity. It hurt like hell, but the payoff was worth it. Junu bowed his head. Thank you, God of Thunder. Thor just nodded. You're free to go. Outsider. Jun Su smiled, feeling pretty good about it. Not a bad trip at all. He left the palace, hopped on his airship, and headed back home. A few days later, he was back in Korea. He looked down, chill as hell. The trek was long, but totally worth it. Even though he didn't plan it, Kim Junu scored the legendary Missling, a weapon that shreds invincibility. He even grabbed the Skidlater ship. Man, the more he thought about it, the smugger he felt. Kim Jun Su laughed and said, maybe I should take my crew on a little vacation. Then, total chaos erupted nearby. He frowned, muttering, what's that loud rumble? Seconds later, a massive explosion rocked the horizon right in front of him. Kim Jun Su's face dropped. That's my home. Why did it just blow up? Minutes later, ambulances screamed onto the scene, hauling the wounded to the hospital. After getting back, Kim Junu sprinted over to investigate. He moved so fast he actually spooked the nurses. But honestly, Kim Jun Su didn't give a damn. He bolted straight to Mr. Choi's room. The poor guy was covered in bandages, lying in bed while Iron Fist stood guard nearby. Director Choi, tell me which of these bastards did this. Iron Fist sighed and said, we're checking, but it looks like those leftover terrorist scumbags. Hearing that, Kim Jun's face went dark. He growled through gritted teeth, terrorists. They have really crossed the line this time. Choi wasn't just a business partner. In this cold, greedy world, he was the first person to ever show Kim real kindness. Mr. Choi was his right-hand man. That guy always had a smile, but now he was just lying there motionless. Kim Junu bit his lip, eyes full of guilt. Damn it, this is on me. It is all my fault for making him run that building. Suddenly, a shaky voice whispered, Superman Kim. Kim Jun Su's eye twitched. He looked down at the man in the bed and gasped, Director Choi, you are awake. Choi Seo shook his head weakly. I'm okay. He shakily lifted his hand, revealing a small vial of blood inside his palm. He whispered, there is something way more important here. This is my blood. You need to take it right now. Kim Jun Su frowned, totally confused. Why the hell are you giving me your blood? Choi replied, I put nano trackers in my blood, and I managed to smear some on those terrorist punks. With this, Kim Junu could hunt them down. Kim Jun Su grabbed Chua's hand and said, thank God you are alive. Director Choi, I am going to use every piece of tech we have to heal you. Choi nodded with a sincere smile. Seeing he was stable, Kim Jun Su turned to leave, his face twisted with a lethal, cold rage. And this time, I am finishing every single one of them. Later, at the Guro base, Kim Junu and Iron Fist arrived. After scouting the area, Iron Fist spoke up. Superman Kim, I tracked the nanobots from the blood. Results are in. They are hiding here. Kim Jun Su followed him inside the dark building. He frowned and asked, you mean the trail just stops here? Iron Fist gave a slow, firm nod. Want me to wreck this whole place? Most Guro people were either regular residents or low-life criminals. Nothing Iron Fist's punch couldn't handle. Hearing this, Kim Jun Su paused to think. It was a solid plan. But this time, he was hell-bent on taking out the mastermind behind these terrorist attacks once and for all. Killer Queen Yeren, who led the alliance, actually started the whole thing as a group for human rights. It was originally founded to help people on the edge of society. That was before they joined the Father's congregation. If they just smashed the place, it would only fuel the terrorists' twisted sense of justice and their crazy cause. Thinking it over, he spoke. Violence isn't always the best answer to everything. It might hurt innocent people, Iron Fist frowned. Well, yeah, obviously. So what now? So, you got a better idea? With a smug laugh, Kim Junu smirked. We tear it down to build it up. Iron Fist was totally baffled. He asked, what the hell does that even mean? Explain yourself. Kim Junu raised an eyebrow and grinned. From now on, we are redeveloping the whole Guro district. Iron Fist was stunned, his cigarette falling right out of his mouth. Kim Jun Su smirked with total confidence. That's the plan. The redevelopment project for the Guro district actually went surprisingly smooth, mostly because the president quickly greenlit the project for such a dangerous area with zero law and order. Plus, big investments poured in from legends like the Magic Tower Master, Hyang, and even the General himself. Then, it finally happened. Jun Su found the terrorists' main hideout on the far edge of Dareem. Now that he'd found it, he was going to pay them a visit. Owen was with him. Owen helped him unlock the door and said with a cheerful smile, "It is unlocked, Master." Jun Su praised him. "You really are the #1 security company." Not only was Yuan great at security, but he was also a total genius at breaking through it. Yuan was a bit embarrassed by the praise. He spoke in a low voice. "But do not you think this is a little too dangerous? You are about to face that notorious killer queen." A smile crept onto Jun Su's face as he replied, "Of course it is dangerous. This was never going to be an easy mission, and that is exactly why I asked all of you for help." It turned out others had come with him, all familiar faces. The trio of Iron Fist, Mage Kim, and Priest Kim were already level 5 superhumans. Jun Su's 3 disciples were the same as ever, ranked at levels 3, 4, and 5, while Jun Su and Yuan were both level 6 superhumans. They were all talented. Their power grew much faster than the average person. Jun Su had not expected Owen to be on his level already. Thinking about it, he grinned and said, "Well, then you guys are strong enough to handle anyone in here, so there is no need to worry." Hearing this, Beg Soy and the other two immediately shouted with excitement, "Just leave it to us, Master!" Un also became more resolute, declaring fiercely, "I will give it my all as a fellow level 6 superhuman just like you." Once they were ready, Jun Su pushed the door and stepped inside. The moment the door opened, a whirlwind slammed into everyone's faces. When they could see clearly again, a dimensional gate had appeared. Seeing that terrifying black void, the spirits of Baeksuo group immediately sank. Baekoi hesitated and stammered, "Master, are you sure we will be okay going in there?" Junu winked confidently and replied, "Have I ever been wrong before? Let us go. Time to take down the killer queen." Elsewhere, in a cellar, a voice echoed, "Those low lives have walked right into their own graves." As these words were spoken, a blood-red sword was raised. It was Yaren. She let out a wicked smirk and said, "Since things have come to this, I suppose I will help them find a nice place to be buried." A little while later, on a vast prairie, Jun Su's crew finally made their way in. But the unfamiliar scenery had everyone feeling a little lost. On the ground was a magic circle along with 3 bizarre-looking arenas. Players used to call this place minigame hell. You have to clear 3 minigames to break the spell on the executioner queen. In the game, it was just a simple side-scroller, so it was no big deal. But getting through here in person was not going to be easy. Still, this was exactly why Junu brought his disciples. With that thought, he glanced at everyone and announced, "We are splitting into 3 teams to take these on. Team 1 will be Yuan, Iron Fist, Mage Kim, and Priest Kim. Team 2 is Baek Soy, Janet, and Ki." After hearing the teams, Baek Soy asked doubtfully, "Huh?" As for the final team, Junsu just smirked confidently and said, "I will go solo." After all, he was a veteran who used to dominate the minigame leaderboards. He could handle it alone. The first game for Yuan's team was about smashing falling blocks to reach the goal. It did not look easy, but magic changes things when you can sense mana. Mage Kim stepped up and found what they were looking for fast. Immediately, Iron Fist smashed them with his fist. The first game for Yuan's team went off without a hitch, but a strange thought seemed to be taking root in Yuan's mind, and a serious look crossed his face. The second game was for Baek Soy's team, a game where you had to find cloud steps to cross the sky to the goal. You just had to move in a specific pattern to get through. Since they had Ki, a total game fanatic, it was a piece of cake, and the final game was Jun Su's. He glanced at everyone and reminded them, "I will handle this myself, so do not worry. Do not open the door, just wait for me. Now, good luck." A little later, Priest Kim stood before a door, smiling as he spoke. "Looks like we are the first ones here, huh?" Iron Fist slung an arm around Mage Kim, laughing. "It is all thanks to this kid. His navigation skills are insane," Mage Kim said shyly. "I am just glad I could help everyone." The 3 of them stood there chatting happily, but Yuan just stood off to the side, a sour look on his face. Just then, another group appeared. It was Baek Soy team of 3. They were ecstatic about their success. Baekoi hugged Ki, gushing, "Our Ki is so smart." The 3 girls hugged and laughed together, clearly super close. And once again, Owen was the odd one out. He had planned on showing Jun Su how much he had grown, but what was he doing? I cannot let it go on like this. As the only level 6 warrior here, Yuan thought he should be the one to face the queen head-on. With that in mind, Yuan strode boldly towards the door. Baek Soy, who was talking, happened to see him. Yuan was about to push the door open. Baoi screamed, trying to stop him. What are you doing? Get back here now! Priest Kim yelled urgently. You can't go in there. Warrior Kim hasn't even arrived yet. Too late. The door was already open as Yuan laughed confidently. Relax, guys. I'm level 6 now, too. I can hold my own for a bit. Ignoring Jun Su's orders, they marched right into Yaren's secret hideout. The moment they entered, a massive wave of mana hit them, making Owen shake with pure fear. The others felt the same pressure. What's with this crazy power? Yuan's body felt like lead. The one responsible was the executioner queen, Yaren. She stalked toward the trembling Yuan with a cold stare. Bake Soy yelled in total frustration, "You absolute idiot! Master told us to wait." Then, she and her team charged straight into battle. Yuan was shocked they could even move. How are they standing? How can they withstand this heavy curse? Yaren didn't even blink. She brushed off the three-person assault with a cold and nasty sneer. So you're that desperate to die? Fine, I'll grant your wish. Yaren then began unleashing her sword with a deadly swing. A barrage of light slashes exploded, sending all three flying. Yuan, still fighting the curse, scowled with pure and fierce rage. They were totally outclassed by this opponent. Meanwhile, Yurin began slowly closing the distance on a defenseless Bake Soy. Owen screamed a desperate warning. Run, Bake Soy. Yaren just scoffed, a wicked smirk crossing her face. See ya, kid. But right before the blade hit, a shadow jumped in and blocked the strike. Yaren's eyes narrowed as her mood soured. The newcomer was Jun Su, using his own sword to block her blade. He raised a taunting eyebrow. Hey, Executioner Queen, long time no see. It's been about a month, right? Yaren's face twisted when she saw him. She laughed coldly. You actually dare to show your face here? Fine. No need to drag this out. I will just kill every last one of you right now. Yaren attacked with a flourish. Countless beams of sword light filled the air. Owen saw this and panicked. There is no freaking way. Even for Jun Su, this was too much. He was so worried he wanted to scream. But then, something absolutely unbelievable happened. Jun Su was actually going toe-to-toe with Yaren. He even managed to shove the queen back several meters. She snapped, flying into a total rage. I am going to kill you, she screamed while charging forward. Jun Su stayed perfectly chill. He sheathed his blade, smirked, and said, You've got it all wrong. You're the one dying today. He summoned Thor's hammer, lightning crackling as he launched a massive counterattack. Thunderous explosions echoed continuously, but Yaren charged right through them, unfazed. She snorted in pure disdain. You think this junk can stop me? You could hit me 1,000 times and it'd be useless. Jun Su knew that. During the soul attack, he'd felt the frustration of her invincibility power firsthand. Back then, Jun Su couldn't even scratch her. But things were totally different this time around. Now, Jun Su could actually go one-on-one. This totally infuriated her. How did he level up so much in such a short time? Yaren wasn't giving up. She vanished in a flash, only to reappear right behind Jun Su's back. Without a moment of hesitation, Yaren slashed at him. Too bad Jun Su was ready, popping a shield to block it. It didn't last. His shield shattered into pieces under the power of Yaren's intense sword light. She charged right at Jun Su. Time to end this, Yaren snorted coldly, but suddenly her chest was pierced by a sharp tree branch. It was the Godslayer, Mistlane. Its aura completely nullified Yaren's annoying invincibility effect. Jun Su let out a triumphant smirk. It's over. Yaren just stared in confusion at the light from the branch. What is this? While Yaren was still bent over, trying to get a better look at the thing stuck in her chest, he slowly drew the sword from his hip. The Godslayer Mistlane nullifies invincibility. It is game over. I was just pretending to lose the whole time. A slash whistled through the air, sending her arm flying as she watched in disbelief. Before Yaren could even react, Jun Su activated his ultimate power. Flames erupted from his palm, engulfing everything. Her entire body was swallowed by fire, charred black in an instant. Yaren let out an agonized scream. This was his plan. Even as her skin melted away, the arm holding her sword stayed raised high. This is nothing. You are just a level 6 warrior. With eyes full of pure hatred, Yaren swung her blade with everything. If I die, I'm taking you with me. But in a flash, Jun Su used his sharp blade to slice off her remaining arm. As the others watched, stunned, his voice rang out. You feel that, right? With a majestic stance, Jun Su's sharp slashes cut Yaren's body into 1,000 pieces. This scrap was straight up legendary. Her heavy parts hit the pavement until her head rolled right up to Jun Su's boots. He looked down at Yaren with a nasty smirk. You got exactly what you deserved. She knew she was cooked, so she just smiled. Just finish it, she said. Right then, staring up at the blade of the Chapter 1 final boss, Yaren whispered her last words with zero emotion. I have no regrets. A brutal sound echoed as blood sprayed across the floor. The Killer Queen was finally down for the count. From the middle of the ruins, someone yelled out, I cannot believe Master actually smoked a high ranker like that. The rest of Jun Su's crew went wild too. That was an insane win. Absolutely freaking legendary, man. You are literally going down in the history books for this. Watching them celebrate, he finally exhaled. Thank God everyone is safe. Suddenly, a small voice called out from the back. Master. Gujin looked at the ground, sounding totally eaten up by guilt. I am so sorry. I almost blew the whole plan. Kim Junu saw him spiraling and gave his shoulder a nudge. We took that monster down, so why the long face? Chin up. He reached into the rubble and pulled out a blade, the Masamune, the demon sword of the Assassin Queen. He gripped the hilt tightly, thinking to himself, the stats on this thing are cracked. It never misses and even lands a curse on every hit. Even Bake Soy was standing there speechless. That sword looks absolutely sick. It is exactly the kind of gear you would expect a queen to carry. Out of nowhere, Kim Junu held the sword out. Here, this is yours now, he said, leaving Bake Soy so shocked she barely found words. Huh? Why are you not keeping it, Master? Before she could ramble on, he cut her off to explain. I work better with straight blades than curved ones. Go ahead, Kim Junu said, encouraging her. I think it fits your style. Blushing, Bake Soy shyly took the new weapon. Okay, well, thank you. Even though he gave it away, he was secretly hyped. Every Star of Slaughter needs a demon blade, right? This is going to be epic. Such a killer combo. With that done, Kim Jun Su walked up to the cold steel gate. All right, let us see what the queen was hiding. For a split second, he could not hide that greedy look on his face. Let us go. Thinking about the massive payday waiting for him, Kim Junu pushed the heavy doors open as a blinding light poured out. Immediately, a room filled with gold, silver, and jewels appeared, making everyone scream in pure excitement. Key and Janet lost it, diving headfirst into the pile of gold. There are so many shiny coins. Even Bake Soy was totally overwhelmed. There is a ridiculous amount of cash in here. He stood there with his hands on his hips like this was totally normal. Iron Fist thought out loud, this must be all the loot she stole from those terrorist attacks, right? From the back, Priest Kim asked Kim Jun Su, Sir, what are you planning to do with all this gold and these jewels? He answered while digging through the gold. We will probably use it to fix the damage from the attack. The infrastructure needs a total rebuild. Then, like he had found his true prize, Kim Jun Su held up a gun with a massive grin. Except for this little beauty, obviously. He could not hide his hype, his face turning red as he started smiling. The final piece for my collection. I finally have the full set of Dan guns. Later, at a sunny construction site, Gujin bowed desperately. Please, I am begging you, make me your official disciple. This sudden request left Kim Jun Su looking completely confused. What is this about? Right there, Gujin started pouring his heart out. Honestly, I went into that scrap feeling cocky because I thought I was some kind of natural genius. He could not hide the shame as he continued. In reality, I could not do a damn thing. I did not even swing my sword. Hearing that, Kim Junu remembered how sad Gujin looked earlier. So that is why he was so bummed out. He thought back to the battle with Eren. He has realized that just leveling up cannot solve every single problem. Suddenly, Gujin looked up, eyes filled with grit. Sure, the instructors at my guild are all pretty amazing, but they are missing something huge. As Bake Soy and the others stared, Gujin yelled out what he really wanted. I want to become a real warrior too. Seeing that fire, Kim Jun Su rubbed his chin and smirked. He has the instincts of a weed fighting to survive in the wild. If he wants it this bad, he thought, making up his mind. Fine, I will take you on. Hearing this, Gujin looked up, totally unable to believe it. For real? But Kim Jun Su gave him a warning. Do not even think about quitting halfway through. You hear me? The girls standing there were hyped for him. Gujin blushed and bowed his head. Awesome. I would never dream of quitting, sir. Thank you so much, Master. Suddenly, he got a heavy slap on the back. Welcome to the team, newbie. Big Swa snuck up behind him with a grin. Yo, I am stoked to start training with you. After that smack, Gujin rubbed his back and growled. Who are you calling a rookie? I knew him way before you did. You are just late to the party. Janet smirked, not backing down at all. What are you even talking about? It goes by whenever we joined officially, right? Janet and Callie just stood there, sighing at the total chaos. The two whispered about her short fuse, but Baek Soy heard them and turned bright red. Hey, shut it! Under the blazing sun, she chased the girls down. Don't you dare tease your senior like that. Janet looked back as Baek Soy screamed to get back there. Then, boom, she slammed into someone. A cold voice made her face pale. A man in a white cloak with a weird symbol looked at Janet. There you are. Do you have any idea how much work it was to track you down? He grabbed her hand and started pulling. You are coming with me. Janet tried to break free, terrified. Suddenly, another hand grabbed the cloaked man's wrist. Jun Su's face went dark immediately. What the hell do you think you are doing here? The cloaked man yanked his arm back. I am just here to take back our property. Looking at the thugs behind him, Jun Su laughed like it was a joke. Property? You have got to be kidding me, right? You mean Janet? The man held up a paper and barked. That is exactly right. Read the contract yourself. This kid belongs to us and we are taking her. Then, a memory clicked into place. Now I know exactly who these bastards are. A vision of that bloody day flashed through his mind. Those silhouettes. The scumbags who killed Janet's parents and sold her off. An orphan sold to human traffickers. They stood there, smirking, showing off that symbol. The mages of the Ilyang Magic Tower. So that is it, he thought. Looks like Janet's main quest is finally starting. He shielded Janet. She is my student. You are not taking her anywhere, period. They just pointed to the paper and argued. What do you mean, student? Read the contract. In that moment, Jun Su drew his sword. A single slice cut the paper in half, leaving the mage stunned. As the contract fell, Kim pointed his sword at them. You think her life is decided by some damn piece of paper? Answer me. If you want Janet, I will bring her to you. Janet looked at him, absolutely terrified. His eyes turned ice cold as he warned them, but I am coming with her. Another sword appeared in his mind. During this quest, she will inherit the sword of the Nephilim. A massive tower loomed ahead, eyes on the Ilyang Magic Tower. A massive explosion ripped through the lab gate, shaking the whole ground. Looking at the huge test tubes, Gujun gasped in total shock. What the hell is this place? Jun Su explained it was a biomagic lab, a place where human greed is laid bare, he thought. Janet went totally silent, just staring at everything around her. Suddenly, a voice broke his thoughts. Master! With a hand on her chest, Janet was clearly still shaken by what she saw. Do you think I can get strong enough to stop all these horrible experiments, Master? Even Baek Soy choked up seeing her like that. Janet. Encouraging her, Jun Su said, You can, if you get the sword of the Nephilim. The second she heard that, she blurted out, Then let's go get it right now. Kim gave her a cold look, reminding her, You have to do one thing first. Get revenge for your parents. His words made her freeze. Then her eyes filled with hate as she made up her mind. I almost forgot the one thing I can never forget. Let's go, Master. Papers scattered as a scream rang out. A mage trembled and begged, Janet, I'm sorry. Spare me. They forced me to go after your parents. But she just looked at him coldly. Tower Master of the Ilyang Magic Tower, you still dare mention my parents? Every word she spoke made the color drain from his face. I am done talking to you. Die. She didn't even give him a chance for last words. She finished him off herself as blood dripped onto the floor while he died in total agony. A heavy thud sounded as his body fell. Janet was shaking so much she couldn't hold her sword and let it drop on the floor. She finally lost it and broke down, covering her face. Baek Soy rushed over to hug her. Janet, are you okay? You did great. Jun Su walked over and praised her too. You fought hard. Crushing the papers under his boots, he knew Janet's quest was about way more than just getting even. He grabbed a dusty neon red file sitting right in front of him. Junu realized these messed up magical bio-experiments were secretly taking over every inch of this crazy city. He started digging through the documents. Hidden in the pile was the most successful test subject of all. Staring at a black-winged monstrosity, Junu finally found it, a hybrid of human and angel, the Nephilim. It has to die. He saw the name on the photo and smirked. To end this, we need its true name. Knock, huh? Once the girl stopped shaking, Junu spoke up. Janet, time to hit the basement. He told everyone the plan to snatch the Nephilim sword from the giant. A massive freak was floating inside a tank. Someone gasped. So this is the Nephilim? They were actually building something like this? Junu pulled his blade without hesitation. You guys did great, but this thing is next level. Stay back. Jin watched him step forward. You're going solo? Dude, that is beyond dangerous. He was right. Even Junu knew it immediately. This is a boss that usually takes a full squad of 4 level 7 players, but the Nephilim is a total moron. It can't use strategy or clever tricks like a person. He made a choice instantly. If I stick to the game plan, I can actually pull this off. Facing the Nephilim, Kim Junu growled, "Wake up!" Then he shouted its secret name. "Knock!" Its glowing red eyes snapped open like it recognized the sound of its own name. A massive boom shook the ground, and the heavy containment tank just shattered into a million tiny pieces. A scream from the pits of hell rang out as it lifted its sword and went full power. The pressure was insane. Kim Junu barely got his shield up in time to block it. The shockwave could trigger fear and tank his stats, but he already had a counter ready. Activating his airstrike skill, Kim Junu jumped high, dodging the swing. He smirked. "Too easy, big guy." No time to waste. He triggered his special gear trait, Ultimate Move Time. Kim Junu blurred behind it and countered the strike. He wasn't done yet, not by a long shot. He spun around and chucked Thor's hammer right through its leg, a perfectly clean hit. The Nephilim let out a roar of absolute agony. It jammed its sword into the dirt to stay upright, catching Kim Junu off guard while he was moving. He hit the ground and slid back. A sarcastic grin hit his face. "You have got to be joking." Seeing the leg grow back, Kim Junu was stunned. "I nailed the leg on purpose, but it healed instantly." Kim Junu charged back in. "Fine then, I will just have to grind you down." He knew its entire move set. He had the whole fight mapped out, and even coated his sword in giant blood. He unleashed a brutal storm of slashes, giving the creature zero room to breathe. Giant blood deals massive damage over time if you keep stacking the hits during a scrap. Just thinking about the strategy made Kim Junu laugh like a psycho. After a final combo, he jumped back and watched it drop. "My damage is infinite," it roared back with pure rage. Even though he was winning, Kim Junu kept his eyes glued to that massive sword. Dark energy exploded as it stood up for a counter. Seeing the dark tendrils, Kim Junu leaped away fast. As the shadows rushed him, he fought to parry the hits with his blade. One hit landed right on his jaw, making Kim Jun Su wince and cry out. Gujun turned pale. "This is looking bad," Bekoi shouted from the sidelines. "Don't panic now, you need to keep it together." She started to rush in, screaming that they would help, but he held up a hand to stop them. "Stay back." Blade in hand, Kim Junu stood his ground, ready to finish this fight. Now for the good stuff. He popped his aura skill, glowing like a straight-up main character. "No way I am missing this final strike." Watching the dark energy flare, Kim Junu jumped to find the weakness. There it was, a white flower on the wing. It was about to bloom. Found it. Without a second thought, he drove his sword deep into the monster. One hit to the sweet spot, and that nasty dark energy started bleeding out like crazy. Even Kim Junu was struggling to hang on, so he braced himself and squeezed the hilt like his life depended on it. Time for a comeback. Massive cracks were splitting the Nephilim wide open, and pure sword energy was gushing out. Yeah, everything is going exactly how I wanted. Kim Junu knew it was go time. He gripped his blade, told that thing to go back to hell, and sliced it right down the middle. Boom. The thing actually had the nerve to whisper I was wrong before it died. Its massive body split and hit the floor, finally showing Kim Jun Su standing there looking totally unfazed. Everyone watching was losing their minds. They couldn't take their eyes off the cracked sword on the ground, which was still spitting out that creepy dark energy like a broken pipe. That Nephilim sword was still leaking some seriously weird mana vibes. Without missing a beat, Kim Jun Su brought the hammer down right on that crack. Light started pouring out of the blade, and suddenly, a brand new weapon appeared. Check it out, the SSR Black Shadow Sword. Kim Junu just smirked at his new toy. Finally, the Black Shadow Sword is all mine. Someone piped up from behind him. That was insane. Jin and the squad walked over, giving him props and saying they learned a ton from that. Bake Soy was still a nervous wreck, hovering over Kim Jun Su and asking what if he got hurt. He just ignored the worry, called Janet over, and shoved the sword into her hands, telling her to try it. Janet was totally caught off guard, but as she gripped the hilt, he knew only she could handle it. After those experiments, she was the only one who could unlock its power. Then, out of nowhere, a wave of pure darkness slammed into her. Hey, it had to happen to get the job done. Janet was shaking as the energy wrapped around her like smoke. Kim Jun Su just told her to stay chill. Do not freak out. Just follow the sword's lead. She took a hit of air and whispered, "This sword." Suddenly her eyes went pitch black, like she was possessed. Next thing you know, she's pointing the blade right at her own chest. She said, "I obey," and the guys rushed in to stop her. Someone screamed her name, but it was too late. She drove the blade straight into her heart. Bake Soy looked at their master like he was crazy, but he just held up a hand and said, "Wait." Kim Junu just acted like it was no big deal, saying it was just beginning. Then, magic started spinning around her. Boom, the system pinged. She just unlocked some innate astral chi. Her power started exploding, swirling around her like a storm. That shadow sword was vibing hard with Janet's cursed energy. It was getting intense. The boys were just standing there with their mouths open, but Kim Junu was over there smiling like a boss. Success. The magic vortex finally settled, and one of the sickest swords ever was finally born. And then, the whole thing just blew up outwards. A massive shockwave of black energy hit the floor, making a huge dust cloud. When it cleared, Janet was standing there with a blade that was absolutely dripping with power. The Nephilim sword of 7 dark energies was officially ready. Cut to this giant skyscraper where everyone is tripping out. The place was huge, bright, and looked expensive as hell. The crew was staring around with wide eyes. Gujin was hyped because all the broken stuff was fixed and looking brand new. They even had a pro training gym now. Ki was all about it, saying it was totally perfect. Watching them geek out, Kim Jun Su just crossed his arms and felt pretty good. Janet came up behind him all shy and started scratching her head. She was totally stuttering, trying to ask him a question. She didn't know how to teach anyone how to use the Nephilim sword. He gave her a smirk and said, "That makes sense. That sword only talks to people with innate cursed energy like her." Her eyes went huge. "Just me? Then how are we going to train?" He was totally chill about it. "No sweat. I will just learn cursed energy myself and then teach everyone." She was like, "How even?" And he just pointed at Gujin. "I'm going after that acquired cursed energy next." First up is Gujin's divine sword union. He looked like he knew exactly what he was doing. I've already seen how it works. Now I just gotta make my body copy the moves. Piece of cake. The crew just stared in awe while Gujin cheered for his copycat powers. I only heard the rumors, never seen it for real. Kim Junu smirked, stepped forward, and gave a little wave. "Okay then, time to get to work." Suddenly, a thick wall of lead comes screaming right at them. They kept unloading on Kim Junu, but he just blurred back and forth, slapping every single bullet out of the air. Janet yelled through the gunfire, "Teacher, how long do we gotta keep this up?" But Kim Jun Su just kept parrying lead, sounding bored as he said, "Almost there. Don't stop." Janet shrieked, terrified. "You are gonna get yourself killed doing this." He wouldn't quit though, just kept blocking. Bullets bit into his skin, and blood started spraying all over the place. Kim Junu just gritted his teeth and took it. Rounds clipped his legs, ripping his jeans to ribbons and soaking them dark red. He didn't budge an inch, just kept batting away that endless storm of lead with his blade. Even as death itself started knocking on his door, Kim Jun Su's eyes stayed cold and locked forward. His will was iron as he finally felt the rhythm. Then, he let out one massive, crushing slash. The bullets just snapped in half. Gujin and Janet stood there frozen, jaws hitting the floor in total shock. Some crazy new cursed energy is wrapping around me. Then, the system popped up a fresh notification. New trait unlocked, sword body union. Right then, a massive wave of power started pouring off of him. Kim Junu wiped the red off his chin with his hand, wearing a cocky little grin. "We are far from done here." He checked the system screen, feeling hyped. Finally, the last piece of the puzzle just clicked into place. I actually got at the absolute top-tier warrior trait for real. The other two just gasped. "What the hell is that?" Suddenly, black streaks flickered across Kim Jun-Su's sword while a glowing blue aura wrapped around the steel. They both yelled, "It's a sword aura!" Kim Jun-Su gripped his hilt tight, a big, confident grin hitting his face. System alert. High-grade trait, Master of the Sword, officially acquired. An irregular level 6 swordsman has arrived. Kim Junu gave a smug look. Cut back to the building. Kim Junu looked at Janet, totally serious. "Okay, before the real lesson starts, the rest of you stay back and watch." He asked her nice and slow, "Janet, what is cursed energy?" She thought about it for a second before answering. "The light of the soul?" Kim Junu put his hands on his hips and echoed her words. "The light of the soul, huh?" She nodded confidently. "Yeah, unlike a sword chi, it isn't just some clump of magical power," Janet explained perfectly. "You use magic power for the body and your soul as the spirit to manifest a whole new version of yourself." He rested his chin on his hand, thinking aloud. She spread her arms wide and said, "Exactly! That's why only warrior types among superhumans can use cursed energy." Hearing that, Kim Junu gave her props in his head. Well, she really did her homework on this one. Then he asked something else. "But if it's just about making energy physical, why not just call it a sword aura?" Janet paused. Well, she turned away, staring at her hands as the realization hit her. Now that you mention it, you are right. Kim Junu crossed his arms and smiled. He told her softly, cursed energy isn't just a simple power mashup. Think of it as the path to transcendence. He used his old fight with the Nephilim as an example. He explained that by going past the visible realm to take a physical form, its properties completely changed. Janet got it fast. So, for cursed energy to hit that level, it means your soul has actually been leveled up. I see it now. The Nephilim practiced their cursed energy just to make their souls way stronger. She suddenly realized their endgame. They want to evolve into gods. Janet clapped her hands together, looking totally hyped. So the Nephilim, being angel hybrids and all, just naturally learn cursed energy the second they are born. It's as natural as breathing for them. Kim Junu stopped and thought to himself, like breathing, huh? He started looking through the other system skills, breaking them all down. Most skills use sword aura like an active ability. But this one? It has to be used like a passive, right? She gave a calm order. Teacher, take the sword and close your eyes. Janet put the weapon in his hand and spoke softly. Don't use your sword aura like usual, just breathe. He shut his eyes right away and focused on his breathing. Janet guided him through it. Just relax. Thin ribbons of energy started to spiral all around his body. His entire body felt like it was drifting in the air. Then it hit him. It was the breathing. Kim Junu opened his eyes and checked out the view. There was this crazy long staircase stretching all the way toward a bright light. Now he was sure. This is the headspace of the Nephilim. You know, the guys who want to be gods. He reached out his hand. This is how you unlock what they want. Kim Jun Su looked up, taking it all in. Starlight was everywhere, with stairs climbing toward that dark cluster. That right there is the light of the soul. Suddenly, a wave of pure magic slammed right into him. It is a feeling you just cannot put into words. Kim Junu closed his eyes, riding that magical wave. The heat and the rush of joy just completely took over his whole body. His whole body got blasted back. Now, he could finally feel the whole thing. Kim Jun-su's fingers started slipping, but he gripped that sword tight. Then, he just raised the blade high in the air. A massive explosion of magic burst from his sword. The dude was straight up transcending reality. Janet blocked her face, the heavy pressure forcing her to one knee. But man, she had a big smile on her face. He pulled it off. The system pinged with a message. You just got the legendary sword of the Nephilim. Kim Jun-su was loving it. Janet cheered, congrats, teacher. As soon as things calmed down, the other three rushed over to see. Ki shouted, Teacher, did you actually do it? Kim Junu put his sword away and looked over at Janet. Thanks, he said softly. You did good. Janet just scratched her head, acting all shy like it was no big deal. You are the one who made it happen. Suddenly, Choyo burst in, panting and screaming, Warrior Kim, we have a massive problem. Everyone jumped and turned around fast. Kim Junu asked calmly, Director Choi, what is going on? He spilled the news fast. Chairman's son is dying right now. Kim Jun-su's eyes went wide as saucers in shock. Chairman Seung-han, he yelled. A level 7 superhuman? How does that even happen to a guy like him? Choi Seo answered, he was poisoned. I heard even Elysia failed, and the guy is fading fast. Kim Jun-su froze, totally stunned. Elysia did not work? A wild thought started racing through his head. Only poison blood could do that. Kim Jun-su frowned, remembering that this stuff was only used once in the whole game. Meanwhile, Hiwi was shaking on the bed. Dark veins were crawling all over her neck and arms like snakes. Hai-yi struggled to breathe, her face twisted in agony. It looked exactly like the start of a zombie apocalypse. Undu was doing frantic chest compressions while yelling orders. Her heart stopped. Start CPR right now. The secretary was shaking and panicking. What is happening? If the guildmaster dies, we are all dead meat. You get that? He kept pushing on her chest, swearing under his breath. Damn it. She was perfectly fine just a minute ago. Suddenly, Kim Jun-su burst in and yelled for them to stop. Undu gasped when he saw him standing there. Goldfighter Kim Jun-su. Kim Junu looked at how bad she was and said, a doctor cannot fix this. Then, Hiwi was fed some glowing red liquid. As soon as she swallowed it, the veins started fading and she began to breathe normally again. A second later, Hiwi made a tiny, weak little sound. The secretary rushed to her side. Guildmaster, are you awake? She looked at the secretary and Warrior Kim slowly. Ha-young hesitated for a second before speaking. Am I in your debt again? Kim Jun-su smiled and said, do not worry about it. Just think of it as a thank you for helping with that redevelopment mess. The secretary helped her sit up. Ha-young asked, What on earth just happened to me? I feel weird. You just collapsed and passed out cold. The secretary answered her right away. I am so sorry, Guildmaster. It looks like someone from the outside tried to assassinate you with poison. She looked up, totally shocked. Poisoned? When? Kim Junu asked softly. Have you been around any animals lately? Hai Yong hesitated, thinking back. Animals? Then the secretary remembered her playing with a stray cat in the rain. Yes, you petted a stray cat right before you passed out. Hayong had no clue that when she touched that cat, some green gunk got all over her hand. He sounded chill about it. Yep, exactly. Kim Jun Su explained that the cat was actually a shape-shifting sorcerer. Someone hired him to take out the guildmaster. Pretty wild, right? She asked him immediately. You mean you know the whole story? Did you catch the guy already? He smirked and said, Of course. Kim Junu was celebrating on the inside. He already knew all their cheap little tricks. In the middle of a dark forest under a full moon, he pointed a gun at the wounded sorcerer and gave a cold command. Spill it. The shifter grit his teeth, fuming that he actually got bagged. You gonna talk or what? Junu got in his face, barking questions. Did that Black Panther cult pay you to take out the boss? But the mage played dumb, stone-faced. I don't have a clue what you're yapping about, kid. He leaned in close, a crazy look in his eyes. Then repeat after me, punk. The Black Panther is a pathetic joke, just a snack for a winged serpent. The sorcerer hissed in pure rage. You total bastard. He looked away fast. Seeing that guilty face, Junu knew exactly what the deal was. That look says everything. I'm done asking. He jammed the gun against the guy's skull and growled. If you want to breathe, give me the blood heart right now. The guy turned white as a sheet, stuttering. Hey man, I don't even have that thing. Junu just pressed the barrel harder into his temple and whispered like it was nothing. Then why should I let you live? The mage panicked, hands waving. Wait, take this instead. He pulled out a glowing orange crystal necklace, holding it up like a shield. Please, just don't kill me. Junu locked eyes on the jewel. He knew that spark. It was the legendary dragon necklace. He grabbed it, checking the shine. Fine, I'll take it. Inside, he was doing a victory dance. Jackpot. Total treasure in my hands. The mage checked nervously. So, I am free now, right? I'm leaving Korea forever, I swear. Junu gave him a soft smile. Yeah, scram. The guy didn't wait. He bolted like a rabbit. But Junu suddenly flipped over him, sword drawn for a dirty strike. If you can make it out alive. Junu scratched his neck and laughed. Plus, I managed to snag the antidote from that shifter too. Well, by gutting him for it, anyway. After hearing the tale, Hayong whispered, I know who wants me dead now. He pointed the finger at the saints and their little lapdogs in the Black Panther cult. Actually, the Old Father cult is pulling all the strings. Flashback. Yeren once led a bloody rebellion herself. Back in episode 1, they used terrorists to make the president and first lady shake in their boots to break the government. But this time around, they're gunning for the CEOs of all the major megacorporations. Hayong looked down, her face tight with stress. But they're a foreign cult. Why come after me? Junu did the math. It is probably because of that cash we sent to wipe out the terrorist alliance. If you're the Saints, that is definitely something you're going to keep a close eye on. I can't reveal that the Old Father cult is the shadow boss yet because there is zero proof. He finished his analysis and spoke up. I'm not sure why either, but I did track down the Black Panther cult's secret hideout. Hayung's face went cold, her eyes turning sharp and deadly. She stood up. Then I'm officially putting you on the clock. Find the psychos who tried to kill me and rip them apart. Cut to a bridge over the Han River. Traffic is jammed under the baking sun. Junu leaned against the railing, eyes down, focusing on every little sound. Hyung strolled over and made the call. Warrior, everything is set up exactly like you wanted. She watched the tourists snapping photos and looked worried. Is all this drama really necessary? It is just to find evidence. He snapped his head around. Look, there might be another way to stop the zombie disaster from episode 2 and keep the capital from absolute chaos. But this is the only way, Junu explained slowly. We are making an example of these guys. A warning to the Panthers and their secret boss, you know? A mastermind? Hyung gasped. He looked down at the dark water and gave her a confident nod. You are about to see. Let's go. With that, Junu unleashed his ultimate move, the magic of water evaporation. He slammed a massive blast of energy straight into the river. The river split wide open, showing the hidden lair under the Han River. People stared at the sky in shock as the city started floating. As the waves pulled back, Junu yelled, "Let the mission begin!" Right on cue, the heavy cannons rolled into position. He gave the command to open fire with the elemental shells. Junu checked the gear on his system screen and started the countdown. 3, 2, 1. He grabbed the cannon controls, hyped as hell, and fired. Turned them all to dust. Tons of shells slammed into the water. Explosions turned the river bright red. The system kept on barking notifications. Commander just snagged a trait. Command secured a trait. Leadership leveled up too. Out of nowhere, a barrier slammed down under the river. Target has a defensive shield. Kim Junu called a ceasefire, heart pounding like crazy. Finally, you guys decided to show. A jack giant stepped out like a boss, hoisting a massive sword high. He stood in an ancient circle reeking of death, flanked by dark mages puppeting that giant. He realized they had black holy blood soldiers and divination mages on deck too. The system chimed in. Priest detected too. Master, what is the play here? Kim Junu grinned. I have been dying for a brawl. He checked his gear on the system and smirked with total confidence. I am taking this one solo. Kim Jun Su gripped his blade and dove straight down, totally hyped. Without wasting a second, he brought his sword crashing down onto that barrier. A massive energy blast exploded along the arc of his blade. Strike! That barrier just straight up disintegrated under the weight of his insane power. The giant was fully exposed. Kim Junu yelled out, "Oh, how honorable of you." He lunged forward and swung his blade with everything he had, but the giant blocked it. Up high, Hayoung panicked and flew down to back him up. Moving a bit fast, aren't we, warrior? Hang tight, I am coming in for support. Before she could even reach him, a massive gorilla lunged at her from nowhere. She knew instantly this was going south. A cold feeling started crawling up her spine. Black magic. This vibe is way above my pay grade. Suddenly, monsters swarmed her from every angle, forcing her to dig in and fight for her life. Hayoung looked over and saw Kim Jun Su flying through the air, sword in hand, absolutely shredding everything in his path. She was floored. One look was all it took to know that was the legendary Aura Blade. Once the dust settled, she walked up and asked, "You only hit level 6 and you are already a sword saint? I thought I was helping, but you ended up saving me instead." He cut her off. "Chill, it is all good. Trash is cleared out, let's move." They headed toward a massive gate leading into the enemy's hidden lair. Both of them stared intensely at the entrance to the Forbidden Zone. As the gate creaked open, they knew the truth. Evidence of the big boss behind the Black Panther cult was definitely inside. Inside the Forbidden Zone, tall buildings were crammed together, giving off a seriously cursed vibe. Jan scanned the area as they walked. The place was totally deserted. Kim Jun Su told her, "Yeah, their main headquarters is actually in Brazil." He broke down the mission as they kept moving. "We need to find the mastermind who attacked South Korea." Hearing that, Hai and Jan looked skeptical. "You mean the actual culprit? Like, the person who was puppeting you?" The two of them stopped at a massive wall flickering with strange black fire. Kim Junu stood there, hands on his hips, staring up at the wall. "Looks like the proof is right here." Yan gasped, totally shocked. The whole wall was covered in dark flames. Without missing a beat, she told him, "I got this." She stepped up slowly and pressed her palm against a specific brick in the wall. Suddenly, the fire was sucked into a single spot. The wall started sliding open. Hyen Johan squinted, her eyes filled with shock and wonder. Once the dust settled, massive steel cabinets appeared right in front of them. "I can't believe a spot like this exists in the sealed zone." They yanked open a drawer and froze. Gemstones, mana crystals, diamonds everywhere. It was loaded with high-end loot. Guess this was the payment for taking out President Say. These guys are way too generous. While they searched, Kim Jun Su suddenly held up a pile of files and yelled, "I think we found our proof." They stared at the messy, weird characters on the page, looking totally lost. "This is written in some secret code." Hyen Jan put on her glasses to get a better look. "Decoding this will take time. We need to bring in the pros." Inside, Kim Junu was cursing his luck. "Damn it, the Patriarch Society is way too good at scrubbing their trail." She turned to him. "Let our security squad take a crack at this. We will crack it as fast as possible." Kim Junu just nodded, feeling useless. "Yeah, that's on you then." He couldn't shake that annoying feeling of regret. "Total bummer, but at least I have got the Jumo group on my side now." Back at the big office, Han Yoan smiled. "Thanks for the backup." Kim Junu sat there, looking like he just saw a ghost. "Sword Saint?" He pointed at his own chest. "Me? A Sword Saint?" Hyen Johan slid a phone his way. "You really have no clue?" "News about you is everywhere." A viral headline popped up on the hot search list. "The Black Tiger Swordsman. Just call him the Sword Saint. Everyone online is already using that name for you." Kim Junu saw those hype comments and started blushing hard, thinking to himself, man, these headlines are wild. Hayan and Johan slid a bag over and spoke softly. This little gift is for you. Kim Junu was stunned. She explained it was a golf bag. Since you use one so much, I got you this premium version. Grabbing the bag, he acted polite and said, Whoa, thanks. You seriously didn't have to do this. Junu pictured his mountain of gold, gems, and loot. He grinned like a madman. I've already banked so much treasure. Hayan puffed out her chest, acting all big and generous. Obviously, you totally deserve this gift. I mean, you saved my life, right? Super hyped, he started kissing up to her in his head. Typical for President Seo, she's just built different. Hayan watched him closely as he geeked out over his new gear. Regarding those Black Leopard files and the Hat Society intel, we will hit you up once we crack the code. Junu, clutching gold in one hand and stacks in the other, looked up when she spoke. So, where's the legendary Sword Saint headed now? He zipped his bag shut and gave her a stone-cold look. To do exactly what President Seo is doing. His power level hit 7 as his soul burned with pure ambition. To crush the catastrophe in Chapter 2, I have to level up. Now, we head to Thessaly, Greece, the divine realm. An ancient temple floated in the sky, with 2 armored guards blocking the main entrance. Outside, a rowdy crowd was pushing and shoving. Seeing the mob, he muttered, Hey, quit the shoving and get in line. Packed, just like I expected. Makes sense, though. Temple G is the only gate to Olympus, and it's tough to enter. We hit the arena next. When the gods faced the end of the world, the final showdown happened right here. A vision of the goddess flashed in his mind, fueling his fire more than ever before. I'm here because one of those legends, Gaia, the mother of gods and giants, actually summoned me herself. Junu shoved through the desperate crowd, but to get inside, you have to beat a specific quest first. He marched toward the main gate with total swagger, telling himself exactly what he needed to do. Once I meet the god, I will become a spirit and finally unlock that sweet privilege of immortality. People cleared a path, whispering about his emblem. Is that a holy knight? Why is a high-tier knight here? Shouldn't he be flying in on some divine horse? Hearing that, Junu just rolled his eyes. Divine horses are so basic. Not my vibe. I need a dragon to really flex. Junu marched up to the gate, catching the eyes of both guards. One guard gave him a warm welcome. It is an honor to meet you, Holy Knight Kim the warrior. We are your guides. Junu was low-key shocked. Wait, you guys actually know who I am? The other guard said, everyone knows the guardian of the stigma. They bowed politely and told him to follow them. The crowd went wild. That guy is the guardian of the stigma? No way. I definitely saw him in Germany. Oh my god, finally. Under the bright blue sky near the castle, people were still freaking out in excitement. I cannot believe he is actually here. Cut to Junu following the guard into the deep interior. He scanned the area, totally impressed. This place is massive, way more intense than Thor's palace back in Stockholm. Glancing at the shiny, sparkling emblem on his chest, he felt like a total boss. I am definitely loving the perks of being an honorary holy knight for the Gaia Order. Reaching a fountain, Junu spotted a figure waiting. We have been expecting you, Holy Knight, the voice said. The woman in white robes was super chill and got straight to it. This parchment holds your next quest, she explained. That is all. Junu stepped up to check it. A quest? A random, required quest just to talk to a god? He grabbed the parchment, praying to himself, Please let it be an easy one. I am begging here. The moment he touched it, the robed figure spoke. You who walk the heavenly path, go to the Kulkus Valley beneath the gold mines and steal the golden fleece from the golden dragon. Junu held the mission paper, shaking like a leaf. Oh, for crying out loud, he groaned from the bottom of his soul. How did I pull the hardest one? On a massive cliff, Junu hid behind a rock, watching a glowing golden dragon sleeping soundly. He peeked out and complained. A golden dragon. Of all the dragon types, I get the one with the worst attitude. Junu tried to tiptoe as softly as he could. Isn't this overkill? Then, he accidentally snapped a twig. Hearing that tiny snap, the golden dragon jerked awake, opening its scary eyes and staring right where the noise came from. It let out a massive roar, unleashing a wave of pressure that shoved everything back, including Kim Junu himself. He grabbed his necklace, making a move. Without blinking, Kim Junu stepped forward and yelled, Hey, let's talk. The golden dragon looked totally confused. You can actually talk? A smug grin spread across his face. This dragon collar lets me speak their language. Man, I am so glad I brought this thing. The beast eyed him with massive suspicion and curiosity. Strange creature. What do you want? Kim Junu tried to stay cool inside. I have wrecked this golden dragon in the game before. If I wanted it dead, I have plenty of power. He looked at the golden fleece the dragon was chilling on. If I kill it, that fleece gets trashed. Gotta play it cool, Kim Junu spoke up. Hey, I am just here to give you some advice. The dragon went ballistic at that. What? A puny creature like you? He cut him off, flashing his stats and proposing. Take a chill pill. We can talk for a second, right? The golden dragon was totally caught off guard. All this power. It turned to him, getting impatient. If you have the guts, then just spit it out. Kim Junu plopped down on the ground, acting like they were old buddies. Yo, Your Highness, what is up? How are you going to be Dragon Lord if you just lounge around? The beast looked stunned, like he could not believe his ears. What? Jun Su looked all thoughtful and started the mind games. Just think about it for a second. You have been here 2,000 years and done nothing. At this rate, you are a total lost cause. The dragon snapped and roared. You puny little creature? What the hell do you even know about me? After hooking him, he started painting a massive picture. That is why I will show you how to become the dragon god. In return, you give me that golden fleece. The dragon gnashed its teeth, growling. Were not your rude words enough? Now you are even after my treasure? It stood up, releasing a massive, terrifying wave of pure power. You think I would give you the chance? Jun Su looked incredibly smug using his taunt skill. Fine, if you do not want to, whatever. That did it. Its eyes flared with total fury. The sky turned dark as its rage-filled voice echoed everywhere. I will take those as your last words. It spat a savage blast of flames right at him. Die! He dodged and used his air raid skill. Nice try, you giant lizard. Mental attacks are way too easy. Kim Junu swiped a piece of the fleece and bolted. The dragon turned around and shrieked. My fleece! It roared and charged at him. Give it back! A massive explosion erupted. The dragon looked down, panting in shock. You puny creature! Jun Su braced himself as he fell back. Seeing June wearing that fleece made the beast go totally and completely insane. You dare touch my treasure? He gave the dragon an incredibly punchable look. Huh? So what? You cannot burn it, can you? Jun Su thought to himself. The golden fleece is an item of immortality and rebirth. This alone is enough to help me wreck this dragon. He kept taunting. If you try to destroy it now, I will not even fight back. Jun Su remembered the Thunder God's orders. Use it well and handle that little dragon for me. He had been given a divine hammer to help out. The Thunder God had his back. Kim Junu used that divine power to jump right onto the dragon's giant head. He told me I have to destroy you. Realizing it was game over, the dragon started begging. Spare me, stop, he replied. No can do. A massive bolt of lightning crackling with divine power struck the dragon hard as Jun Su yelled out. Items made from dragons are worth a ton of cash, you know. It was wrecked and slammed into the ground, unable to fight. Jun Su looked amused. Told you we could do this simply. Honestly, he only cared about the upgrade loot, a chance for a level 7 elixir and some crafting materials. How could I ever pass this up? A totally greedy, obsessed look appeared in Jun Su's eyes. Time to bleed this thing for every last drop. The scene shifts to a grand castle glowing in bright gold light. Goddess Ji, looking absolutely massive, appeared high above and looked down. A special guest has come to visit me. Jun Su bowed down. It is an honor to meet you. I am Warrior Kim. She spoke in a soft voice. I know. I have been watching you for a long time. If you want to ask me something, speak up. He replied quickly. Thanks. He remembered everything he had seen and then he continued. The Thunder God out west told me some non-divine being summoned me here. Kim Junu looked at the goddess and posed his question. Do you know who exactly called me here? She answered. If it happened in the human world or hell, I would know. I don't know a thing about it. Jun Su was skeptical. So, it came straight from heaven? Unbelievable. Goddess G dropped another theory. Look, there is one other possibility here. It might be from some hidden dimension or a rift in reality that made him think of one woman with a seriously shady look on her face. Could it be the saint of the church? Goddess G broke down exactly what he was missing. Doesn't look like her. Pulling a soul from another world would completely wreck the summoner's own spirit. She went on, Your summoner is probably dead. That got Kim Junu thinking. The saint's soul seems to be doing just fine. If it isn't her, then who? Suddenly, the goddess's voice snapped him back to reality. Looks like I can't help much more. So, tell me your wish. Jun Su hesitated before he finally spoke. Can you hook me up with a level 7 blueprint that fits my style? Goddess G didn't say no. She waved her hand, and a glowing scroll popped up. Fine, I'll give you exactly what you want. A glowing scroll sat before Kim Junu. A level 7 blueprint? He looked up, totally hyped, unable to hide his joy. Looks like there's a bonus. She laid out 2 different scrolls in front of him. Here are the level 7 and level 8 blueprints. Plus, I've got the skills and items. Kim Junu was stoked by her generosity. You're tossing in the level 8 one too? He grabbed the blueprints, his heart hammering against his chest. With these, taking down the Saint is actually doable. Now, for level 6, I'll need a mutant core. Level 7 requires a mana core from an otherworld demon. For level 8, I'll need one from a half-demon. He wondered, what about level 9? Don't tell me I've got to hunt down a literal god for that. The pressure is real. How do I even find all this? Not to mention all the other materials. Sensing his stress, Goddess G spoke calmly. Child, there's no reason to worry about a future that hasn't even happened yet. Your fate is hitting a major turning point. Jun Su looked up, hanging on her every word. He gripped both scrolls tightly, trying to keep his cool. You're right. I need the strength to crush the level 8 Saint, the Chapter 3 final boss. Kim Junu bowed deeply. Thank you. She dropped a final warning. Careful, the second wave is coming. Kim Junu looked up, totally lost. Second wave? She explained quickly. Yes, you have to fight it and flip the script on your destiny. If you fail, shadows stretched across the ground as her warning echoed. You'll be devoured. Then, the scene cuts to him leaving. Kim Jun Su couldn't stop thinking about her warning. The second wave is definitely that zombie disaster about to hit. He was stressed, totally lost in thought. I trashed the core for the church's zombie event, but will they just quit? Kim Jun Su's ride landed smoothly. He couldn't shake the undead dragon. No chance. That thing is probably being stitched together right now. Kim Jun Su shut the door, his mind racing. Taking that thing down solo? Absolutely impossible. Everyone rushed out to greet him the second they saw him. Master, you're back. Kim Junu looked at Ki and started doing math. There's only one way to handle this. We need Kali's quest. Then Jin spoke up. Master, did you find the god you were looking for? He grinned. Yeah, so, where's that golden dragon I left you? They all reported in. We finished butchering the beast and everything is carefully packed away. He was super satisfied. Kim Junu called over to Geen, who answered with a smirk. Yes, master? He asked, what did you do to the skit blader while I was out? Jin answered with a smile. I just made a few tweaks, he added. This kind of work is my specialty. Jun spotted the dragon's head in the back and started sweating. It's cool, but why's the head just sitting there? The more I know him, the crazier he gets. Beak Soy chimed in, saying her little bro is a total prodigy. Geez, I told you not to call me that. Janet added that it looks way better. Callie was impressed. It's basically a mobile hotel now. Kim Junu felt proud and praised the team. You guys worked hard. He was genuinely satisfied. My students are growing up so fast. He noticed Beak Soy was looking way stronger. She had actually hit level 6. She blushed, covering her mouth with a giggle. I knew you'd notice, Master. Janet raised her hand. What about me? Kim Junu nodded while assessing her. Janet's hitting level 6 soon. As for Callie, he checked her gear and was totally blown away. Initially, she only had 4 traits, but now she has even unlocked charm. Kim Jun Su walked over and patted Callie's head, making the girl blush hard. She was hitting level 5 soon, too. The guy finally felt a massive wave of relief. Nice. Callie was ready for the mission. Jin spoke up first, asking, so, where are we heading now? He didn't miss a beat. West to the Grand Canyon. Jin and Callie looked totally stunned. The Grand Canyon? You mean the Great Rift? He turned to the girl and laid out his plan for her. Callie, today we're getting you to level 5. Then once we hit the rift, we'll put the Karu plant inside you. Kim Jun Su asked calmly. But you'll see your grandma again, so your vibes might get messy. Think you can handle the drama? Callie paused for a sec. She thought back to her old self and the oath she'd sworn. The day I became your student, I was ready for this. Callie balled her fists and said confidently, I can do it. No lie, Callie's quest was to end her grandma, who'd turned into a monster, and snag the Karu plant. This was the only way for someone with goddess blood to finally stop the endless suffering. Kim Junu figured grabbing the level 7 elixir there would be cake. He patted her shoulder to hype her up, saying, all right, let's start training. Locked and loaded. Callie pointed ahead and yelled dramatically, before we hit America, I'm going through absolute hell. The crew in the back played along perfectly. Yes, Master. The scene cuts to a bunch of massive cliffs. In the distance sat the Grand Canyon, the Great Rift. Jun Su used his sixth sense to scan the entire path. Staring at the massive, rotting skeleton, he knew this was a branch of the Black Panther cult. Baek Soy said, "That pile of bones is totally disgusting." Kim Junu reminded them, "From now on, Callie is the lead. You guys remember the meeting spot, right?" Callie spoke up first, but had a question of her own. "Yeah, the Conch Tower. But where are you going?" Kim Jun Su pointed and said, "I'm gonna bait the undead dragon." Janet looked at him like he was crazy. "What? Isn't that suicide?" Baek Soy tried to calm her down. "Janet, just roll with it. Our master isn't the type to throw his life away for nothing." Callie chimed in too. "Plus, he's got that heavenly demon body anyway." He smiled, relieved. "Hearing you guys talk like this makes me feel better." Suddenly, Callie's brain sparked, making her freeze up and frown. She grabbed her head, stumbling and screaming, "My head!" Baek Soy rushed over, panicking. "Callie, what's happening?" Everyone swarmed her in worry, but Kim Junu just stood there with his arms crossed, doing nothing. Finally, a reaction. Callie hit the floor, shaking. A sound. "I hear something." It wasn't the dragon, but another boss of this place. A starling. Right then, a massive rift opened at the cult fortress. Inside the control room, someone let out a sigh. "Time is dragging," they chatted casually. "How much longer are we doing this? Man, they're so stubborn. How many years has it been?" 20 years, I think. The supervisor went on, "But we're finally at the end. If we pump enough mana into the dragon's body, we'll own it." His eyes were wide with hype. "Then our cult will finally take over everything." Suddenly, a weird noise made the boss turn around. "What was that? Did you hear that?" Right then, the guy standing right next to him just dropped. While the boss was still tripping, a system alert popped up. Gear traits: combat suppression, giant strength, and stealth. Seeing this, Kim Junu charged the last guy standing. "With such trash guard duty, how do you expect to live? That's some serious slacking, you know? But hey, I'll take it." He checked the monitors and thought, "I can't wipe this many people solo. They are all level 5 superhumans trained deep inside the rift." Just then, Kim Jun Su pulled out a card and swiped it instantly. A notification rang out right away. ID confirmed. Sir Edmund. Feeling the moment, he mashed a button. Instantly, alarms went off everywhere. Emergency situation detected. Heavy iron doors slammed shut, locking the place down. Just like Kim Jun Su planned, everyone was trapped inside. Meanwhile, the others were busy pumping magic into the dragon when an invisible gravity force suddenly hit them. It sent them into a panic. "What's that noise? What are the guards even doing?" The priest spotted him standing up high, leaving everyone totally stunned. "An intruder? What? How did he get in?" Seconds later, a ton of attacks flew at Kim Junu. "Kill him now!" Witnessing the mess, he broke out his special move. "All right, let's see what this new toy can do." Kim Junu flashed back to rummaging through a cabinet. After a bit, Junu was shocked to find something totally cool. He stared at the twin pistols, eyes glowing with excitement. Now, back in the present, Junu was masterfully wielding those exact same guns. Eat lead! These guns were unstoppable. Bullets sprayed out like crazy, hitting every single person in the room. They couldn't move fast enough and started swearing. "Damn it, why won't these freaking bullets stop coming?" One guy panicked and threw up a mana shield to block the rounds. "Don't let him get away." His buddy froze solid. "What?" But suddenly a loud voice cut through. "Then who is supposed to guard the undead dragon seal?" The second that voice faded, everything went to hell. Realizing they were screwed, everyone started screaming, "Run for your lives!" Right then, the yellow dragon let out a roar that made the entire world shake. Being right there, he felt the shockwaves. Suddenly, the system announced his gear traits: magic resistance, defense, barrier, mana shield, mana armor, and mana barrier. Junu aimed at the yellow dragon and admitted, "This boss is definitely the real deal." He unleashed a barrage of heavy rounds. "Take this." The bullet slammed straight into its massive body. The yellow dragon shrieked in pain, and its roars got way more terrifying. It snapped, breathing out a massive wave of fire. The sudden attack caught him off guard. "Damn it. This thing is not even in its final form yet." Then, the system chimed in again. Traits: airstrike, acceleration, high speed. Junu bolted the other way. "The redstone. Just a little further. I am almost there." Suddenly, he heard Baek Soy calling out, "Master, over here." Junu flashed a smirk. "Perfect." He took the chance and rushed toward them. Once he landed, Junu asked, "Is this the spot, Callie?" The girl whispered back, "Yeah, I hear the voices. They say we are almost there." Just as Callie finished, the yellow dragon charged like a freight train. He slammed down a shield. "Crap, was I too slow?" She looked up toward the sun and muttered, "No." After watching for a second, Callie confirmed, "We made it." Suddenly, the starling's voice boomed out, "Who dares to threaten the descendant of the Holy Star Lord?" It materialized right above them. The starling growled, "You pile of garbage. Guess you've forgotten what it means to be afraid." That set the yellow dragon off instantly. Both sides lost it and started tearing into each other. Watching the chaos unfold, Junu chuckled to himself. Nice. Let them fight each other. Bekoi nodded right beside him. If this keeps up, we're golden. They will kill each other and we win. He felt a bit hesitant. That would be sweet, but the Star Children are not that dumb. Because of their shared blood, the girl recognized her immediately. Right then, Junu lunged forward to start his attack. And just like that, the main event started. Everything was going exactly according to his plan. Junu thought of the Blood God's dance, a gorgeous, fluid style that hid deadly fangs. He watched closely and sized it up. That move is pretty solid and tricky, but it's got nothing on the Firestar sword art. The system immediately showed the trait, Firestar Swordmaster. Suddenly, a massive roar echoed, and Junu looked over. Looking at the fight, he thought, just like I figured. The Star Child definitely has the upper hand. The yellow dragon was scrambling to fight the Starkin, but it looked like a losing battle. It barked an order at the tentacle beast. "Finish it," Junu thought. Finally, he's ordering the zombie dragon's death. The tentacle monster is making its move. This is my chance. A devious smirk spread across his face. I only avoided fighting that zombie dragon directly for one reason, to completely drain all of its power. Junu scaled the Star King's body and grabbed the hammer. Right on cue, it let out a warning shout. "You are way out of your league, kid." Suddenly, dozens of tentacles lashed out. "Just give up and submit." His enemy spat, "You lowly insect." Junu forced a nervous smile. Well, this is definitely not good. Tentacles swarmed everywhere. He started building up his momentum and launched himself high into the air. When Junu landed, the sight was absolutely insane. Looking at it, he could already feel a headache coming on. It still has this much juice left? Whatever. I came prepared. I am also a holy knight blessed by God. Lightning suddenly ripped through the sky with a roar. He grabbed the chance to channel all that power into the hammer. Jur's protection! Junu recklessly slammed the hammer down onto the hard ground. Massive lightning bolts ripped through the air like Thor's hammer, every single strike slamming right into that Starin's ugly carcass. He watched it burn and whispered, "That'll hold him." Then, Jun Su pivoted his focus straight toward the massive yellow dragon. He didn't blink, ripping his blade out instantly. Jun Su charged up his ultimate move to end this whole damn fight. Game over. He lunged onto the Starin's head, catching it totally off guard. It was freaking impossible. With a single brutal swing, his blade tore right through that yellow dragon and kept on shredding through everything. A pillar of light blasted through the Starkin's gut. The tentacle monster, who was actually Callie's grandma, got caught in the crossfire and shrieked in total agony. When the dust finally settled, the whole squad started walking toward her. He watched her closely, hoping the holy water would buy her some time. Suddenly, that tentacle monster's body started morphing like crazy. Jun Su stared at the lady and realized she was reverting back to her human shape for a little while. She is basically as ancient as some prehistoric alien life form. After that brutal scrap, the whole place was total wreckage. He scanned the carnage and grinned. Mission accomplished. It was a total win. Jun Su looked at the beast. The lady those Star Children had been puppeteering was finally back in her right mind. But she was clearly still drowning in serious pain. He knew her clock was ticking down fast. Then there was Callie, named after the literal goddess herself. The kid sprinted over, screaming for her grandma. Staring at that tentacle monster, Callie just completely lost it. "Grandma?" she gasped. "Callie, baby? Look at you, you are so grown up now." The girl was shocked. "You still know who I am?" The monster replied, "Duh, you are my last living relative. How could I forget you? Every time your face popped up, that alien freak would scramble my brain. My sweet girl." Callie started crying hard. "You were actually thinking about me?" Her grandma gave her a soft look. "We are the only two bloodlines of the goddess left. If I do not give you this power, you are dead." Callie started bawling even harder. After a second, the tentacle beast suddenly piped up. "So, how is Amy doing?" The kid blurted out, "Dad is doing great." Her grandma sighed. "I was always stressing out about that kid. Thank God. I miss my boy so bad. Callie rushed to give her some comfort. Grandma, come back to Seoul to see Dad. I know he misses you like crazy. Hearing her, the tentacle monster gave a tiny smile. Thanks, sweetie. She looked down at her hand as it started to vanish. But I am totally out of time. Callie froze. Grandma? Suddenly, the tentacle beast locked eyes with Jun Su. Hero, can I ask a favor? He nodded. Sure thing. She sounded dead serious. Burn my body and dump my ashes on that floating chaos island. Do this for me, and I will give you a reward for letting me die like a real person. The beast added, I am going to pass the Karachi down to my granddaughter. The girl couldn't handle it and grabbed her hand. No way. Then, the monster pulled out a legendary sword from nowhere. Callie, take this, or your grandma's soul is going to be stuck in this hellhole forever. The kid stared at the floating weapon and realized it was the SSR Karachi sword. Callie grabbed the handle, and the blade instantly bonded with her. The tentacle monster gave her a sweet look. At last, I can finally sleep. Callie screamed, refusing to let go. Grandma, please, don't leave me. Jun Su held the old lady's body. You have suffered enough. I will start the ritual now. Callie's desperate voice rang out. Grandma! The monster whispered back. Don't cry, Callie. It is okay. Our family is always linked by the heart. Cut to a massive crack on that floating chaos island. Nearby, they found a spot dedicated to the goddess Callie. It was the perfect zone for mana to bloom. But this place was super risky. One wrong move, and those weird whispers could turn you into a freakish, mutated monster instantly. The girl hugged the urn and whispered, I hear Grandma. Jun Su replied, That might actually be the goddess, Callie speaking. The kid was confused. The goddess? Then she got an answer. Yeah, exactly. See, both you and your grandma are basically the chosen handmaiden serving the goddess Callie. Since you have got the goddess protecting you now, hearing her voice is totally normal. A weird shadow crossed the girl's eyes. It feels like she is giving me a hug. Callie prayed while spreading the ashes around. Goddess, look after my grandma. Suddenly, a magic circle flashed, freaking Jun Su out. What the hell? This pressure is insane. The girl got it. Master, the goddess wants your hand on that magic circle right now. A thought hit him. Did the goddess Kali actually show up? Jun Su reached out, feeling a bit shaky. Touch the circle? Suddenly, a massive wave of energy hit him along with a loud system ping. You just scored a superpower trait, Jun Su thought. A superpower? No way I got this lucky so fast. The kid saw him staring and said, Consider this a little gift from the goddess. Jun Su was spacing out. If I have this power, that means whoa. Callie suddenly lunged with her sword. Master, can you even keep up with me? He realized right then he might actually grab Karachi. She attacked from the air. Callie was a total blur, and the system flashed the new Karachi traits. Blood of the goddess and divine blood dance. Jun Su chased her with his own traits. Speed, lightning, flash step, psyche, superpower, and magic. He flashed a cocky grin. Since I landed that superpower trait, all my other abilities are basically leveling up like crazy. And since this place has a trait that jacks up mana, he closed the distance to the girl. I can totally keep up. Seeing him move, she smirked. Not bad. Callie swung hard at Jun Su. Time to take the gloves off. Swordmaster plus superpower dance. If I mix those two together, they will evolve into the ultimate sword dance trait. Game on. The two collided in midair, going all out as the spar turned into a real fight. Kim Jun Su had to admit that was insane. Is this what goddess tier power feels like? In a heartbeat, Ki let loose. He burned every single one of her 108 strikes into his brain. When Jun Su's demonic eye and instincts tracked all of Kali's crazy movements, they instantly took form as his own unique sword dance. This was way different from the Blood Shadow. He basically rebuilt it in his own style, Karachi Lightning. He checked his blade and couldn't help but let out a little laugh. Finally done. Just then, the system pinged with his updated gear and traits. Karachi, Martian Sword Style, and Nephilim Blade, 3 top-tier arts, Frenzy Mode. He gripped the hilt tight. Now he just needed a build that would actually work with all this. His mind started racing again. Demon Lords or Holy Maidens, it doesn't matter. He smirked. Even that old Pope up there is toast. I will wreck them all. A voice right next to him broke his focus. Hey, that is so not fair. Jun Su turned to see Kia gasping for air. He stammered, Wait, this is just a big misunderstanding. That wasn't the real Ki back there. I almost died too. You guys saw that, right? She was everywhere. It was like she was possessed. Suddenly, Bake Soy pointed her blade right at Jun Su's chest. Save the excuses. Her face went cold. What we really want is to see what you have got. Janet had her build ready. Natural talent, mana fountain, diamond body, shield expert, and the Nephilim sword. Key went with her own set. Karachi, goddess blood, blood rain sword, shadow step, and time dilation. Finally, Bake Soy equipped her own traits. Martian sword style, combat instinct, and giant strength. She flashed a provocative smirk. Since you're stronger now, let's have a real spar. Fine by me. He locked in his traits. Martian style, Nephilim blade, Karachi, and diamond body. Bring it on, he said arrogantly. I can take all of you at once. A second later, thousands of lightning bolts hit. The fight turned into a total blowout for Jun Su. Bake Soy looked like she had been through a toaster. I almost died. Are you good? He asked, panting. Yeah, I'm fine, Key pointed at him. You are literally bleeding from your mouth. What happened? What on earth did you just do? Don't tell me you used all three sword styles at the exact same time. Jun Su paused before answering. That burned way more mana than I thought it would. Totally worth it, though. You really did not hold back, Janet complained. No kidding, Bake Soy added. You could have gone easier on us. He shrugged them off. Drink some high-grade potions and get back to work, all of you. Those monsters in the Great Fissure won't stand a chance. I have got some business to take care of, so I am heading out. Don't even think about coming home until you are actually strong. Seriously, something massive is about to go down. She looked confused. Something big? He started to explain. Yeah, just like that last terror attack. It is going to be enough to bring Soon to its knees. All four of them were totally stunned. Once the dust settled, he made it to his destination in no time at all. The second Kim Junu pulled out the Holy Edict. A notification chime went off. Congratulations, Master. You reached level 7, it continued. He thought to himself that in this frenzy, level 5 was enough to secure priority rights. Kim Junu's head was spinning with thoughts. So, what exactly does hitting level 7 actually mean? That level is the absolute limit for superhumans, the ultimate state. At that point, you are basically a walking disaster. Compared to modern tech, I am basically on the level of an aircraft carrier. He did the math silently. I have the juice for Chapter 2, but it is not enough for what is coming. Then, his phone buzzed. I need way stronger allies. The Tower Master is a solid option. Kim Junu grabbed the phone. Yeah, Tower Master? How have you been? The guy said. Superhuman Kim. I am calling today because I want to brag. Kim Jun Su knew the deal. Bragging? Oh boy, he suddenly remembered exactly what he had said to the guy before. Warriors and mages do things differently, right? Who knows? Maybe my flame is actually better. The Tower Master laughed. Interesting. Very interesting. Want to make a bet? Deadline is 2 years from now. Your flame or the tower's? Let's see whose flame hits harder, the man said. As promised, here is the ultimate flame of the Sun Tower. Kim Jun-Su couldn't wait another second and bolted straight to where the Tower Master was waiting. The man cackled. I never expected we would reach the Magic Tower's goal so quickly. Meanwhile, he thought, a bet is a bet. If I lose this. Kim Jun-Su remembered the moment. Sounds like a plan. What are the stakes? The Tower Master replied, if you win, I will give you anything you want. He smiled, but if I win, you join our security team. Just thinking about it made Kim Jun-Su feel hopeless. I will be a corporate slave for the rest of my life. The Tower Master raised an eyebrow. When you see it yourself, you will have to admit defeat. Why not just quit now? Kim Jun-Su spoke up. Tower Master, remember the bet is to see whose flame is 10 times stronger. The man was totally stunned. What? Kim Jun-Su just replied, that's right, you and me. I am already finished with my preparations. Then he said, sorry, but how about we go compare them right now? They rushed to the chamber holding the Sun Tower's ultimate flame. Meanwhile, people whispered, a mere warrior actually finished an ultimate flame? He probably just whipped up some garbage magic. I don't get why the Tower Master is even interested in him. But Myung-sik thought differently. He is the one who gave our magic tower a totally new perspective on techniques. He has no reason to lie. The guy is just built different. The Tower Master looked at the spark on Kim Jun-Su's finger and asked, is that your ultimate flame? Kim Jun-Su answered, not exactly. I accidentally got a slightly different result. The man replied, seems so. A tiny spark like that cannot be an ultimate flame. Exactly, because this is the ultimate flame that you created in your own special way. Before showing up, Kim Junu combined the 6 rare ingredients he had worked so hard to find, starting with the black flame from level 2. plus the sun flame he scored from helping out Mage Kim. The Imlays he earned by teaching them exactly how to break those mana chains, the Dragon King's fire from killing the Golden Dragon, and Heaven Fire from the Goddess of Thorns. Finally, the Chaos Fire from the Zombie Dragon. Gear traits: Black Flame, Sun Flame, Imlays, Heaven Fire, Chaos Fire, and the Dragon King's Fire. Jun Su created a masterpiece, a flame powerful enough to incinerate everything, the Saint's Black Flame Baptism. He said, "If I remember right, your ultimate flame actually surpasses even the Sun Cannon. You wanted raw power and speed for real combat, right?" The Tower Master nodded. "Correct." Jun Su kept going. "But mine is different. I dropped the power and mana drain to the absolute minimum." The man frowned. Junu explained, "The power of my ultimate flame actually ramps up the more mana I dump into it." Jun Su grinned. "When that happens, this tiny spark can actually rival your ultimate flame." The Tower Master couldn't believe it. "Let's see about that." He started gathering energy to activate his own flame. Watch closely. This is it. The Tower Master quickly showed off the dominance of the Sun Tower's ultimate flame. He smirked. "For a superhuman like you, this is way too much to handle. Better just give up now." Suddenly, the Tower Master's eyes went wide. He looked around and saw that everything was swallowed by flames. "Say what?" The Tower Master was shook. No way. How could one tiny spark pull off all that damage? He realized things were spiraling and yelled, "Stop!" The moment that flame sliced through, the Tower Master started panicking, sounding totally desperate. "You can quit now." When Junu finally cut the power, the air was still thick with crazy heat. Then the system dropped the stats for the Sun Tower's legendary flame. Power was 290, range was 78, mana 20, casting 11, difficulty 33. Total, 441. Then, it flashed Junu's own insane flame stats. Power 300, range 100, mana 100, casting 100, difficulty 200, grand total, a whopping 800. Junu smirked at the Tower Master and flexed. "Check it out," he said. "This is my true ultimate flame." The crowd lost their minds when they heard the score. 800 points? No way. The old man stammered. "This is just impossible. This fire is insane. How did a kid like you even dream up something this powerful? Tell me the secret." Junu felt a tiny bit bad since he basically just plagiarized it. "Whatever," he shrugged. "I can show you the ropes if you want. Do that, and the Sun Tower's flame will finally be perfect." Hearing that, the Tower Master was totally hyped up. "Seriously? Thanks a ton, Superhuman Kim. You're a real one." But then Junu dropped a bomb of a condition on him. "But since I won the bet, you owe me a favor." Suddenly, the old man's fanboy face turned dead serious. "Fine, let's hear it. What's the price?" Junu gave a cold smile. "I need soldiers ready to throw down against my father. So, I'm calling for a blood alliance with the Sun Tower." A moment later, the sky opened up and it poured. Junu walked away feeling like a boss. "Sweet," he thought. "That makes 2 major allies ready to help me take down the old man." The plan was working perfectly. Junu hesitated, though. Usually, when things go this smooth, something big is about to blow up in your face. Right on cue, his phone pinged. A new file arrived from the Kumo Group's very own Sun Hyan Johan. "Open it?" Junu was totally shocked. "Chairman Song?" He didn't hesitate and hit the open button immediately. Did she already unmask the Black Panther Society's boss? Folders started flooding his screen instantly. Seeing Top Secret Black Panther Society written across the file just threw Junu for a loop. This was heavy stuff. Questions raced through his mind. What is this? Then, even weirder text began to scroll by, addressing Legion Commander Jam. Thunder rumbled like a bad omen. Junu froze. Why is the Eastern General's name all over this classified doc? Is Jam's army bankrolling the Black Panther Society and their creepy black magic research? Junu went quiet, processing it all. It can't be the general himself calling the shots, he thought. He's too proud for that. Suddenly, Jam's voice shook the room. "Who's there?" he bellowed. "Who dares pull a stunt this disrespectful?" Junu spoke up. "General, I'm just an outsider. I don't want to get into your business. But honestly, your Eastern Army is looking like a straight-up terrorist cell lately." Jindu and Haidu just stood there, terrified. Dungdu didn't dare breathe either. Finally, the general broke the silence. "Commanders, did any of you know about this mess?" When nobody spoke, he snapped. "Why are you just standing there? Answer me. Did one of you do this?" The woman instantly panicked. "No way. Impossible. We'd never do that." Suddenly, Dongdu spoke up. Father, he bowed and confessed. This is on me. Truth is, the Eastern Army has been doing stuff like this for a long time. The general looked floored. Say what? Dongdu explained they needed black magic to reach the peak of their sword style. Jam's face darkened. And you're actually telling me you thought that was okay? He demanded. No, it was totally shameful. I see now that it was all just about my own stupid ego, Junu thought. Finally, someone in this crazy family actually has a brain, Dongdu continued. Father, this is all my mess. As your eldest son, you should punish me. And General, as the leader of the 1st Division, I have one final request to make. Please, wipe out the black magic and corruption rotting our legion. Jindu and Hyungdu looked absolutely horrified. Jam rubbed his temples and sighed. Fine, it's done. Superhuman Kim, no. I guess I should call you swordsman now. Junu nodded. Yes, General. Jam announced, I'm launching a massive top-to-bottom inspection of every unit in this army. He looked at Junu. Will you lead this entire investigation? Junu stood there, totally frozen. Me? Junu thought. Why am I getting pulled into this family's messy drama? Jindu jumped up to protest. Father, stop. This will destroy the honor of our entire legion. Jam immediately shut her down. If any of you actually cared about honor, you wouldn't have let things get this trashy to begin with. Look, swordsman, he said. I have got a house full of kids, but I cannot trust any of them with this gig. I am officially making you an honorary inspector general and giving you the rank of major general right now. He put all his faith in him. What do you say? You in? Suddenly, Kim Junu remembered something important. Hold up. This is another shot at grabbing a solid ally. Knowing that, he signed on with a smirk. If you are trusting me with this spot, then obviously I am going all in. A few days later at the office, Kim Jun Su asked, how is the investigation into the Nog Magic Tower coming along? He said, you were right. They have been snatching up monsters and magical beasts illegally. Kim Junu realized, man, that makes total sense. I was wondering why the Eastern Army's cash was disappearing into thin air. Then he asked, what about the Gangnam side? Cho answered, they are running a bootleg underground arena for mutant monsters too. Kim Jun Su nodded. Exactly what I thought. Everything is finally starting to click together. He said, they have been running an illegal monster fight club, forcing people and beasts to kill each other for kicks. It is a totally sick and twisted plan. The general asked, how did you know that too? Kim Junu explained, warrior-class superhumans using dark magic to juice up their power. Yeah, I see exactly what is happening here. He looked grim, remembering the game's storyline. I know exactly where I am headed next. Kim Jun Su started thinking back to how everything went down in the past. For the last few days, I have pulled all-nighters digging through all the Eastern Army's secret files and budget plans. He checked his demonoid gear, stats, intuition, night vision, comprehension, insight, and focus to find the truth. Thanks to those overpowered traits, I managed to narrow the whole search down to just a few major clues. As Kim Jun Su sorted through the data, he thought, I found all the proof of the illegal stuff with the budget. He started the analysis. All that is left now is to track down the big boss behind it. Kim Junu thought, the researchers, or basically the one who approved all this madness. He was totally shocked when he saw a research file about using arena combat for leveling up. These people are monsters. Suddenly, a weird-looking object just popped out of thin air. It blew up in the dark. The smoke and dust cleared out fast, showing some familiar faces. Jindu said, see if he is dead. We need to leave before Dad finds out. Hyungdu said, on it, sister. Suddenly, the two of them felt something was wrong. When she saw the guy sitting right there in front of them, she totally lost it. How? Kim Jun Su just smirked. What is wrong? You really thought a single bomb would take me out? Hearing that, Jindu screamed, you arrogant little brat. I already knew it was you two from the start. I bet you panicked when that Breaks Legion secret base got trashed, did you? She gave the order. 3rd Division Commander, let us jump him and finish this now, he said. Got it. The more Jindu thought about it, the madder she got. Her voice got real low. You should have just kept your mouth shut. Both of them lunged at him together. Let us show you that there is always someone bigger and badder. He smirked. Always a bigger fish, right? Kim Junu blocked both attacks. You guys just walked straight into the tiger's jaws. He watched them, sizing them up. Just as I thought, the brutal attack from these two tigers is on a whole different level, Kim Junu analyzed. Both masters of the white tiger style are going for my throat. He felt their power, especially Jindu's. That guy was a total psycho. Chaos exploded around them, but Jun Su kept taking them both head-on. The second she swung her blade, he blocked it. A massive explosion went off at the same time. Seeing his trick, Jindu shouted, "Get after him!" Hyungdu yelled back, "I am on it, ma'am." Without wasting a second, the two of them used the violent tiger destruction move. Jun Su stopped. "So, two white tigers, huh?" He pumped power into his blade and then let out a massive energy blast. "You think that is enough?" the guy said, cool as ice. "It is just for show. He is only level 7. Steel clashed and everything turned into a creepy sea of red. Jindu looked at it and growled, "What is this?" Jun Su's lips curled up. "Only level 7? Yeah, sure." But then he fired up the Nephilim sword trait. The Karachi Firestar style and Thor's master spiritual sword technique kicked in before he let out a cold laugh. "I am not your basic level 7 fighter. I am a gold warrior." Kim Junu charged ahead. "You are going to pay for trashing the evidence." The whole place went wild. Ground-shaking blasts ripped through the air non-stop. That sword energy was straight-up raw power. Totally crushed by the pressure, Hyungdu scrambled backward in a panic. This was the soul of a god-tier legend who just broke every single limit known. A nasty shockwave traveled up his blade. Usually, that kickback ruins your stance, but the Fire-Rear sword style is a totally different beast. Gear trait, Fire-Rear sword style, Black Tiger sword style, the absolute swordmaster. It uses the blast and the kickback for extra speed. Hyungdu charged in a total fury. "You think you can take me?" He moved on pure instinct, seeing every move coming. One monster swing from his blade almost split the earth in two. Even bleeding out, Jindu refused to quit. "I am ending you," Jun Su spat. "So you traded your precious honor for this?" She lunged like a beast. "You are delusional." Jindu let her dark power rip. "Check out what this forbidden black magic can really do." A memory flashed by the scars left from hunting those monsters. He knew it for a fact right then. "Enough talk. It is obvious who did this. I do not need to see another damn shred of evidence." Boom. Right as he thought it, she struck. "This is my Black Tiger sword style." Their energies slammed together hard. A bad vibe hit Jindu out of nowhere and she just froze in place. "No way. How is a punk like you pulling off the Black Tiger style so perfectly?" Jun Su just smirked. He let his own blade fly in a brutal counterattack, "Because I am Jun Su, the real master of the tiger." Right then, the system pinged. Gear trait, White Tiger sword style. The ferocious fang of the Black Tiger Thunderstrike, Heaven-cleaving slash, the Dark Shadow, the Light Flame sword. Let us go. Back with Jay, the big man gave him props. "Great work. You really cleaned up the mess in the Eastern Core." Jun Su asked, "What is the plan for those snakes doing the illegal work?" Jam finished his thought. "I dealt with them myself," but then he turned and asked unexpectedly, "How do you think we should handle them?" He said, "Look, they are your soldiers, sir. I do not really want to step on any toes here." Jun Su stared Jam down without blinking. "I think they need the book thrown at them for the ambush and for destroying evidence." The old man sighed. "I wish I had a son like you. I cannot even get my own in line. Life moves fast. Feels like I have wasted my whole damn time." Jun Su jumped in to fix that. "No way, Commander. Without you, Korea would have been a smoking crater after the Second World War. Seriously. In this game, the resistance saved the country, not some big allied win," Jun Su thought to himself. "Plus, this commander's legendary record during the Korean War is honestly on a whole different level." He gave a deep bow. "Don't forget, sir, we are all standing on the legacy you built for us." Jay actually cracked a smile. He called the bluff. "You sucking up for some loot?" Jun Su just laughed. "That obvious, huh?" Jay told him. "Close your eyes and do not move." Jun Su wondered what he was getting. Then, the commander spoke. "What I am giving you is my entire legacy. Everything. The Eastern Core is yours." It finally hit Jun Su. "Hold up, do not tell me this is the legendary transfer. No way." He took it and checked the stats. The strongest trait of Exinoon, the literal life force of a legendary war hero. Jun Su felt it. The mana flow was raw and violent, like pure energy being pumped straight into his blood. Jay coughed. "Looks like the power swap worked." Jun Su was absolutely floored by the whole thing. "Commander," Jun Su asked, totally worried, "why would you give up everything for a guy like me?" The boss said, "I had to give it to someone eventually, but you cannot use this power just yet. You need to hit level 8 before you can wake this beast up." Jun Su stuttered. "Thank you. I am not sure how to pay you back." The old man said, "One rule. You have to become a constellation. No excuses." "People say that is the strongest title on Earth," Jam added. Reach level 9. That makes my sacrifice worth it. Soon, Jun Su was back. He had this nasty gut feeling while replaying everything in his head. The commander had a few years left, but giving away his mana just cut his clock down big time. Jun Su wondered, can I actually hit level 9 in a year? Then, his phone started blowing up. Yeah, Chairman Seong, I handled the Eastern Core mess thanks to your backup, but then Hyungdu cut him off. You see the news? Jun Su frowned. The news? What is happening? It was a breaking bulletin.